If you ask someone to name a famous detective, most people will say Sherlock Holmes. But it's Sherlock's sister who's getting on the spotlight at the moment as Enola Holmes 2 lands on Netflix. With the first film I thought it was fine, but nothing more than Sunday afternoon fluff. Whereas with the sequel, I gotta say this was a complete slog. The film clocks in at 2 hours and 10 minutes, which is only 6 minutes longer than the original film, but my goodness did that feel like an extra hour. When I'm watching films, I try not to pause to see how long is left, because otherwise it's like looking at a clock, it's just going to go slower. But with this, I had to do it one time and it said there's still 40 minutes left, and I was like, bloody hell, how is that possible? And I think one of the main issues behind this is that with the first film we had all that setup, we were meeting with the characters, and then we got into the mystery. But with this one we sort of go straight into it, and the film doesn't really know what to do with all that extra time. I mean, the film even had time to have a not so subtle girl boss scene, which was totally unnecessary, especially when you've built your plot around the match girl strike of 1888. Which on the surface I think is a good idea to try and weave in real history into your story and your mystery. And so with that, it's a shame they can execute an interesting and enjoyable plot. It is, however, a welcome sight to see them reduce the fourth wall breaks in the sequel, because in the original film I felt like they really did overuse that. But even with that, at times the character of Enola Holmes can get a little bit obnoxious, but you can't fault Millie Bobby Brown's portrayal and energy behind the role. And I think when she's with Henry Cavill's Sherlock, it's always for the better, because, you know, that sibling relationship, that's the best thing about this film. In terms of the romantic relationship in the film, that carries on over from the first film, and it's bearable enough, but it's nothing overly investing. You have actors like Helena Bonham Carter and David Thewlis who do what's needs to be done for their characters, but these aren't any roles which will really stick out from their filmographies. And the overall conclusion and the reveals at the end I thought were pretty disappointing. I mean, even some things were quite cheesy as well. And I feel like this film may have fell into that trap of trying to build a franchise while at the same time not thinking too much, not focusing enough on the matter at hand. And after watching these two films, I think this whole concept could have worked a lot better as a TV series. But of course now I'm doing the films, they wouldn't be able to keep those Hollywood actors in place. But I think having mysteries going forward in that sort of 45 to 60 minute length could work a lot better. I know the first film and now this film will be right up some people's street, and I know I'm not exactly the target market for it either, but you know, I think this was a disappointing one overall and one I wouldn't really recommend. But of course, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you want something else to watch on screen right now, is a video which YouTube are recommending for you.